Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I did have my first baseball practice last night as a coach for my 7-year-old's team, and I think that we're going to be okay because that was the first time I've seen the kids actually assembled since the draft. So don't worry, I think we're going to be okay. I think we've got enough talent on this team to at least not be in last place. So I think we're looking good. And I know you were all so worried about that. I wanted to show this first. This is the market. It's at about $254 billion right now. But most importantly, I wanted to show you just how well XRP is holding its gains here over the last 2 or 3 weeks. When it's done surges and we have natural pullbacks and this type of thing. But XRP is really holding its own even more. And remember, Bitcoin has not been going up as much as XRP lately. And now when we have a pullback, Bitcoin's pulling back more than XRP is. This is not the way it's been in the last 6 months. This is interesting, and it makes me think that a lot of this is tied to this increase in volume that we're seeing out of XRP. And I'll make a point about that here in a little bit. Okay, now I saw this yesterday afternoon, and I think that it's just a marketing thing that Bitcoin IRA is doing. This was sent to me from the crypto, or it was copied on. I was copied on. I don't follow this guy, but I do now. The Crypto Caveman. What is this? Now, this is an advertisement that Bitcoin IRA is doing. It says, buy Ripple before the big February announcements. Now, I did a little looking into this. And from what I've heard, they've got the same kind of wording on Bitcoin advertisements too. But the important thing here is apparently they think that there's some February announcements, not necessarily specifically for Ripple, but that are going to be big for digital assets. That's what I would take away from this if I take anything. All right, let's move along. This next thing, I got a couple of things that are interesting from XRP. Thor, sorry, my wife's texting me. A couple of things interesting from XRP Thor. It says, fortunately, I am mighty. But anyway, I think that both of these things he sent me are from this World Economic Forum, the Global Financial and Monetary System in 2030. I think that's where he's getting this. The first one's this. It's settlement and cross-border interbank transactions. And it's talking about central bank digital currencies that are currently have been in the works. And it's an interesting list to look at, some of the different countries who have central bank digital currencies in the works at different stages. Canada, Project Jasper; Ecuador, Dinero Electronico. If you go down here, Singapore, Project Uben; Sweden, e-krona; Thailand, Project Inthenon. Then you've got Tunisia has e-dinar. Then Venezuela has the Petro Moneda, launched in 2008 as a general public CBDC and still operational. Now, with these these central bank digital currencies, which I think will be large walled gardens, some of these countries are going to have to force their citizens to be in. Venezuela is probably one of them. Venezuela has not had a lot of luck in getting people to put their money in this Venezuelan digital currency because the people have lost faith. And that's one thing that's lost on a lot of these central banks is they don't understand. The whole point of all this is a loss of faith that's how it all started anyway. But anyway, you're going to see every central bank's going to have one of these. Probably a lot of companies, a lot of banks, they're going to have these. But there's going to be one digital asset to bridge them all, and that is XRP, the greatest digital asset ever created. Now, something else from XRP Thor. Listen to this. Distributed ledger, this is from that same report, I believe. DLT, blockchain, and cryptocurrencies. Blockchain is at its crux is a technology that has the potential to create new, efficient foundations for economies and social systems to run on. Ultimately, the end game for blockchain technology would be to use it as a basis to create one single record for everyone to use. All assets would be housed on the internet, creating a genuine internet of assets. We're still in the early days. The use cases are exciting and practical. Let's go back to this. The end game for the blockchain technology would be to use it as a basis to create one single record for everyone to use. Can you say interledger protocol? All right, what this reminds me of when I read this. Now, this is the World Economic Forum, folks, that wants to take all this back to all the different countries so that they have a model, okay? This is what it reminds me of. This is a Ripple drop from back November 19th, 2019. Listen up.
How do blockchain and digital assets help build out the Internet of Value?
It's two things at the same time, right? It's an infrastructure for moving value around the world, and that's both the distributed ledgers as well as the interoperability layer, ILP, for example. So that's really analogous to the way the internet works with the internet protocol. The second part of it is digital assets, which of course are impossible unless you have a blockchain. Those currencies are going to be extremely important for reducing liquidity costs and sort of just greasing the wheels of how all these other things of value, dollar, yen, RMB, euro, always going to, in my opinion, going to be the dominant currencies in the world, but they need a digital asset to enable that easy translation from one thing of value to another thing of value. So we think they supplement the global economy in key ways.
That innovation.
There you go. We don't need to listen to the rest of it. That kind of spells it out what's going on, folks. All right, John Kevin Muse sent me this. I'm going to have to do a refresh here, I think. No? Okay, we're good. U.S. government to auction off more than 4,000 Bitcoin on February 18th. More than 4,000 Bitcoins, an amount worth approximately $37 million as of press time, will be auctioned off by U.S. law enforcement officials on February 18th. Apparently, you have to have a $200,000 deposit to participate. So the digital asset investor will not be participating in the U.S. government auction for Bitcoin. And many of you won't be either. Tim Draper may be there. He won some auction where he won, I think it was like 30,000 Bitcoin or something, I want to say. Jonathan D at XRP_YD7 sent me this. This is a big deal on Twitter right now. BitMEX announced, we at BitMEX are proud to announce that trading of a new perpetual swap on the XRP token will begin at 4 UTC on 5th of February 2020. Now, XRP Crypto will summarize this a little bit. They'll launch the XRP perpetual swap contracts tomorrow with up to 50 times leverage. All margin is posted in Bitcoin, so crypto traders can long or short on these contracts using only Bitcoin. XRP USD swap contracts are going live on February 5th. All right, and then there's this. Coining 203 sent me the tweet from the CEO of BitMEX. This is what he said. Is it called Ripple, XRP, or dog shit? Who knows? Who cares? It's worth more than zero, so it's time to trade the USD pair on BitMEX. Boo yakasha. Now, what I said was I continue to be shocked by these, quote, new businessmen who believe it's smart to put this who believes that it is smart to put his ideology ahead of what is good for his business. For his sake, I hope his investors don't see this stupid tweet. Now, I understand that there's two things. First of all, there's a lot of guys on social media, including CEOs, who like to try to tweak the XRP community so that they can get more attention. But there's another thing that's more important. These guys, they see what's happening with XRP right now, and you talking about something that kills. Would kill these guys. We're already starting to see, and I'm going to show you in a minute, we're already starting to see volumes of XRP exceed volumes of Bitcoin. Their worst nightmare is for XRP to jump Bitcoin in terms of market cap or anything else. It's jumping it in volume now. So you're going to see a lot more FUD, and this guy's just one more example of it. These guys have been wrong from day one on Bitcoin versus XRP. and at some point it's going to be crystal clear for everyone to see. I believe you're starting to see that face now, but you're going to see more of them where they're going to start reeling like this. Okay. But what blows my mind, I've never in my life seen business people who are willing to tell a large part of their potential customers to basically piss off, which is what this guy's doing. It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and it tells me that this guy's a young guy who hasn't really been around that long. But somebody will rein him in. I can promise you that. I don't know who he answers to. Maybe he has venture capital firms that invest in him, but someone will tell this guy, look, this isn't going to work. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him retract that. And then there's this, because at ECOSSEXRP1 said kind of the same thing. CEO BitMEX, absolute disgrace. Who runs a company this way? Exactamundo. All right, Mike Preston, at Mike Preston CW12, sent me this. This is from Mance Harmon, the team at this company here. How do you say that? Asower, I don't know, is doing incredible work helping track the coronavirus outbreak with their data visualization engine, which is built on Hedera Hashgraph. I just wanted to show you this. This is why DLT is so compelling. I just wanted to kind of show you that. There's going to be a lot of different digital assets, and I believe Hedera Hashgraph is one of them. Okay, now, Cryptopolis sent me this article right here. It's this. XRP volume flips Bitcoin on crypto exchange Bitso as Ripple gains traction in Mexico. CoinMarketCap reports that Ripple's native currency has leapfrogged Bitso's Bitcoin MXN pairing with 5.1 million in XRP volume compared to 806,000 for Bitcoin at the time of publishing. And then Michelle Vandenberg sent me the actual thing from Ian Northey. This is on Bitso ODL Exchange. XRP is the #1 by volume, is 5 times bigger than the second Bitcoin. Now, folks, I want you to stare at this and look at it very closely, because this, the times are a-changing, folks. Now, look at this, look closely, because if what I'm thinking is correct, the second that it really starts being shown in numbers and it really starts to sink in with people, you're about to see a paradigm shift big time in this space. Because when you start seeing XRP volume, now remember, MoneyGram, the volumes that we're seeing, these are just a handful of corridors. When this starts opening up around the world, this is going to get worse and worse. Now let me tell you something and write it down. If and when people start to tie this XRP increase in price, we're now at 25 cents. If and when you begin to see people start tying in this increase in price with this increase in volumes, you are going to see speculators, and David Schwartz has said something to this effect, that once the price starts reflecting based on things like this, you will see speculators pile in like you've never seen in your entire life. And that's what excites me the most about this, is because the volume increases might cause XRP's price, or not might, they will. That's the reason we're all here. The volume increases, the utility of XRP will eventually start to make that price rise. We could be seeing it right now. When that is seen, when it really registers with the investing public, average investors as well as Wall Street, when it really starts to register, then that's when you're gonna see crazy things you can't imagine come in. You're gonna start seeing price increases you can't imagine, because then the animal spirits are gonna really click in with the investors, and because then they're gonna know, hey, this network is only going to grow. And so the volumes are only going to increase. And so if the prices are going to slowly increase over time from those volumes, then we need to go ahead and buy, because this is a no-brainer. And that's why I've been here since 2013. That's why you're here listening to me. That's why XRP is the greatest digital asset ever created. And that's why we're going to make some moolah. All right. And then there's this, in conjunction with what I just said from Free American Spirit. This article, op-ed, this is what we've been telling you for over a year and a half now. Op-ed, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major blockchains are doomed to fail. Listen to this. But now, 11 years on from Bitcoin's Genesis block and nearly 6 from Ethereum's, it's time to recognize that these platforms were never designed for the one thing that everyone is demanding of them. Scalability continues to haunt the major blockchains, and the solution is far more complex than many believe. Simply introducing a new consensus model isn't going to solve the issues. Other blockchains like Ethereum are suffering from well-documented scalability issues with virtually no progress since the craze of CryptoKitties. Everyone in the Ethereum community is waiting for Ethereum 2.0, the long-promised update that is allegedly going to make Ethereum scalable. It emerged last year that it could still be, but it could still be several years away. There's now a serious risk that by the time Ethereum 2.0 materializes, the technology itself is likely to have moved on. Other solutions, such as second layers of Bitcoin sidechains, aim to use the core platform code to create faster and more scalable solutions. However, the very existence of layer 2 solutions is a clear indicator that their creators don't believe the underlying technology is scalable. Folks, do you see what is happening? Okay, I had a little mess up there in my video, so I'm going to do this again. Love for Crypto. I got this from the Davey92. And he had created this website for the guys for Love for Crypto. Special thanks and shout out to Davey. He developed a website. This is for their DLT Con. And I wanted to show you very briefly this is their website. Let me go back up. You can buy their tickets to DLT Con. Now, they invited me to come to this, and I just can't make it. I would have gone. I'd love to go out to LA and see all these guys, but I just couldn't make it this year. But if you're able to go, certainly go. Love for Crypto. These guys we got a lot of smart people there. Love for Crypto presents DLTCon LA 2020. I think it's May 16th. And they give you their agenda. Scott from Love for Crypto is going to be there. The Zoo, you've got, Vitse Vin, and then some different guys. Crypto Eddie is going to be there. SPQR, Bitru is going to be there. And Brad Combs is going to be there. Crypto Wizard. Then I think they said Alex Cobb was going to be there, but apparently he's not going now. So anyway, this is a good event, and it shows all these guys down here if you want to check out everything. Anyway, go buy a ticket to this thing if you're able to go. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family to certainly go to DLTCon if you can make it. Thanks for listening.